Oh, man. Yeah, we back in the building, y'all. Y'all already know the vibes, man. Once y'all come in that building, man, smash that like button, man. That junk ain't gonna hurt your feelings. Ain't gonna cost you. Make sure you share this video, subscribe to the channel, because I don't know what you're waiting on, to be honest. But hope everybody enjoyed their weekend. Because I did. I enjoyed my weekend, Lord, man. So, but anyway, over the weekend here, a lot of people was wondering the Larry Hoover situation. Yo, who pushed that out, this and that. Come to find out, it was 1090 Jake. He the one that actually put that video out first. That it was a news clip article saying that Larry Hoover told the police, But then the next day came. That's when Whack 100 actually got the alleged shooter, the one that was letting off the shots, whatever, saying that on the article they were saying that Larry Hoover actually snitched on the person that actually let off them shots. Well, the person, the old man, shout out to Whack 100 once again for getting the old man on the audio on the phone call. We're gonna go over that clip. The old man actually said it was like 100 people around that area in the hallway, man. He said Larry Hoover didn't snitch on me. This, according to allegedly, it was 2 females that snitched on the dude that was letting off the shots. So 1090 Jake is actually getting a lot of backlash about this. People was going, they all in his comment. They talking crazy about him, saying like, yo, you wrong, you already know what time it is, you putting a bad word on the Godfather, of growth and development, the GDs, and I was like, oh, then a couple of people in my comment too, my last video. That's how I know y'all people ain't even watched the whole goddamn video. Because I said in my last video, I didn't believe that shit either. So, yeah, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this 1090 Jake. And is 1090 Jake, is he in trouble? Is the GDs on his neck? Let's talk about this, man. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's share this video. Let's get this show started, man. Light one up. Yo. If you know the vibes, you already know what's going on. It's your boy, Smoke News TV. We back in the building. Smash that like, subscribe to the channel, share the video. Keep that notification bell on so you know when I'm dropping my video. Shout out to Team Smoke Gang for getting y'all membership. Make sure y'all get y'all. Shout out to all my day one supporters. Let's get this copyright out the way. Copyright fair use disclaimer. You can find that in my description on my channel, on this channel. Everything that I speak on over here is for education. Educational and entertainment purpose. Again, copyright fair use disclaimer. You can find it in my description on my channel. Everything that I speak on over here is for educational and entertainment purpose. Them clips and videos I play also owned by the original creators. Let's get to it, man. So we got this going on, man. 1090 Jake responds to Larry Hoover, former op, who claims Jake is lying about Hoover snitching on him. If you see it down there, the dude saying that Larry never snitched on him. Then you got the 1090 Jake down there saying that OG Highsmith told in the 90s in the Fed case. He said, post that paperwork. So now 1090 Jake is claiming. Now 1090 Jake is saying that the old man, the one that 1090 Jake said that the OG Larry Hoover snitched on, he came out and said, nah, that's all lies. Hoover ain't never snitched on me. So now 1090 saying, well, nigga, you snitched back in the 90s in the Fed case. Put that paperwork out. I'm going to tell y'all something right now. You know 1090 Jake is a content creator. He make content. And 1090 Jake is playing with fire right now. I'm not going to lie. But I got to understand 1090 Jake got money too. He's on a whole nother level. He can ride around in BP vehicles and all that. Not saying anybody can't get touched, but this dude can hire security, all types of shit if you want to, 1090 Jake. Because 1090 Jake done blew up, man. It's ridiculous. The dude's not even a rapper, man. The dude blew up off of YouTube. He from the ground up. First he used to talk about jail stories. Then he started pushing out that paperwork on these rappers. And I remember one video when 1090 said this. He said, man, y'all don't understand, man. He said, ever since I've been doing that paperwork shit on these rappers, whatever, I got real high-class rappers in the industry that we all know, and sometimes they be hitting me up and saying, yo, they be paying me in the back end not to push no paperwork that I got in my hands, or somebody actually will give it to me to talk about that individual in the rap game. Remember when him and Finesse 2 times was going back and forth? He exposed Finesse. He exposed a lot of niggas. Not too much of them high-profile rappers, but a lot of upcoming rappers from all different states and all that shit. The one that got a buzz, just a little bit of their name, and that's what 1090 Jake does. But see, now you're playing with fire because now you're talking about the Godfather of growth and development. And then you putting out some old news article, which we're going to get to a clip that people got to understand. Back in them days, the police wasn't feeling that movement that was going on in Chicago. So they try to put them amongst each other. They try to have them in war. So the police, allegedly, and everything I speak on is alleged, the police will switch up words and say this and that just to have the GDs going against another rival gang and all our war go out. Because we all know, allegedly, they like to see black on black crime. Brothers knocking each other off as we speak right now. That part, I said back, we got youngins you losing their life at age of 15, 16, not even making it to 18. Some of them ain't even making it to 21. They knocking each other off in this gang culture that we call right now, that we involve in. So some of these kids that we got, little nephews, sons, little cousins, shit, some of these little niggas don't even make it because they continue playing with that street life. Which I'm gonna continue saying, the street life don't love you. It's cool, you can hop out, show love like I do that once in a while. Sometimes I need to stop that, to be honest, because you don't know what type of energy niggas gonna bring to you. Not everybody's gonna show you that love, that part, and I'm gonna sit back on that. Am I lying? So when you bring that good energy, you don't know what type of shit niggas don't went through throughout that day. So that's the shit that 1090 Jake better stop playing with these niggas. Because now you got the Godfather, you got people in their feelings, you got the youngest, you got people that probably already on 1090 Jake neck because of old past paperwork that he was putting out against other niggas in other states in Florida where he from and all this, that, and the third. So when you playing with fire like that, you got to understand, man, the streets ain't going to love you. So 1090, if them niggas end up catching you, bro, not for nothing, bro, I mean, it's going to be nasty work. Even though now smoke that nigga don't go to Chicago, this and that, man, there's GDs everywhere. They all over this country, and we know that. That's one of the oldest goddamn gangs in this country. What we talking about here, man? So them niggas is everywhere, bro. But like I tell niggas, man, these little niggas gotta stop spitting the block, knocking each other off and shit like that. They just absolutely have to. Because when you involved in that gang culture and you involved in that, and some people do it the good way. Not every gang members is in the gang bang. Some go to school, some go to college, some, I mean, let's be for real here. So it's because they grew up on a block that they grew up, so they end up being involved in it. So some youngers escape that, graduate high school, end up going to college, but they still affiliated with the family back home. But they just ain't on that bugged out shit that the family back home is on. But for the youngest, I just leave them street life alone, because the streets ain't gonna love you, man. It's just saying. You're gonna end up being locked up doing life, or you're gonna end up, on that ground, man. And your family gonna have to bury you. And that'd be the hard part. That'd be the hard part that you gotta understand. That y'all hurting the family members, the moms and all that, especially when y'all dying before the parents. They're supposed to be the other way around. We're supposed to live long. I mean, we're supposed to be burying our parents when they get older. That part, I sit back. Gang culture ain't worth it sometimes. I'm telling y'all, man, it ain't worth it at all. It depends what path y'all going through. But let's get to this 1090 Jake situation. Let's play this clip where they're actually talking about it. And we're going to get to the old man that actually spoke about the situation with Whack 100 over the weekend. He's saying, man, this nigga got this shit all messed up. Larry Hoover absolutely didn't snitch on him. Let's start the show, though, man. Let's start these clips. Light one up. Y'all already know the vibes, man. Smash that like button. Do me that favor, too. Share this video.
1090 Jake, a.k.a. Jacob Cherry, a.k.a. the White Master Splinter, might be in trouble after disrespecting ex-gangster, disciple leader Larry Hoover. You see, after Larry Hoover got his federal sentence commuted by President Donald Trump, he's been trending for the past 72 hours, and someone would use this time to leak paperwork of a news article from the 60s, stating Larry Hoover snitched on the hitman that shot him, which was not true, and fans would go off on 1090 Jake for labeling Larry Hoover a snitch, with just this one piece of news article and not any publicly available document. Reason being that the Chicago newsletters and political parties were experiencing high corruption rates around the 1960s, manipulating the news to get the GDs and the streets to turn their back on him and ruin his image. The shooters even got caught minutes later after the shooting, with one of the shooters coming out saying this about the situation. Y'all think the GD's gonna snatch Jacob Cherry's chain after this?
Let me tell you something, man. Them GDs on his neck, that's for sure. Because when I see them comments, they're like, yo, I'm telling you, watch what we see. I could imagine what type of DMs 1090 Jake is getting from the GDs and all that for putting that type of information out. Because not for nothing, that news article was over. I remember I've been seeing that shit a couple of years ago when somebody actually tried to push that out and it was a false narrative, whatever. But see, people got to understand. The reason why they put that news article the way they put it out, saying that Larry Hoover allegedly snitched on dude, because like I said in the beginning of my video, they was trying to start like a gang war out there in Chicago. They wanted the youngers to knock each other off. Which that allegedly the government gonna sit back, you know what I mean? You know, the system gonna sit back and they gonna let these young niggas knock each other off. That's less work for them niggas to handle. They're like, all right, let these niggas knock each other off. We just go to the homicide scene. That's it. That's all we gotta do. Them niggas ain't gotta do much, meeting the police and all that. Because the youngers are knocking each other off. So meaning what I'm trying to say, back in 1968, with that BS ass article, whatever they put out, they try to make the Chicago little gangs and all that knock each other off. They try to have them knock Larry off and shit like that. We all know, allegedly, and everything I speak on is alleged. We all know how the system could trick sometimes and play around with that paperwork, statements, and shit like that. We all know. Especially when they want you, pause, when they want you real bad and lock your ass up, they're gonna try to play any trick in the book on you. That part. We see that shit on television and all that. That shit on 48 Hours and all that. Them niggas come in. Oh yeah, you know, Ray say this. You know, Tyrone told you. Yeah, he go back in the room. You know, Tyrone told me that they play games like that. So why wouldn't they play games like that in an article back in 1968 when that movement was just coming up? See, the country never seen nothing like that. Like I told y'all in my last video 2 days ago. And them times in the 60s and all that shit going in the 70s, there was a lot of revolution going on with the black streets. There was the Panthers, there was street gangs, there was street, I mean, then you got the Hispanic gangs. So there was all types of new shit coming in around that era. You got the GDs, you got the Bloods and Crips, you got all this shit going on in different cities. Man, the country wasn't ready for that shit. Police in the city wasn't ready for that. So what they do? All right, y'all niggas want to play around. We're going to play a little trick on y'all niggas then. Yeah, let's lock one of these gang members, drop his ass off on another rival gang block. Or just lock them up and bring them together and tell them a lie that this gang member's going to... That's how they play. They play tricks. They play mind tricks on niggas, try to knock each other off. Y'all youngers got to understand that too in this era. Y'all be knocking y'all own friends off with false information out here in these goddamn streets. It's tricks, man. They play games sometimes. Y'all got to catch that shit before you don't. Because if you do, you're going to be out there bugging out, knocking each other off. And then at the end of the road, the whole reason, it was a whole trick that they played on y'all goddamn asses because they want y'all to pause. They want y'all to knock each other off. Less of a job they got to do. Black on black crime. Don't they love that shit? Niggas knocking each other off. They don't like it when black going, nah, man. You know, we crime on the other cultures. Oh, nah, they come lock us up quick. ASAP. Throwing us in the jail system for like 30, 40 years out this mother. But when we going against each other, oh, they sit back. They watching that. They sitting back like this. Yeah, let that shit happen. Meet in the system. They did that shit back in 1968. That's what I'm trying to explain to y'all, man. They was playing tricks. They put that little bold BS in the article and all that. This is nasty work, man. So we don't really know what's really going on out here. But according to the old man that spoke about this, he particularly said that. He said, listen, this man ain't snitch on me. There was mad other people in the hallway when I started letting off shots and all that. Let's continue, though.
You got to understand, Hoover got taken off the street at 23 years old. This man was a certified smacker, leader. But unfortunately, if you go by the paperwork, he's also what? He'd be considered a snitch, right? He identified the two people that shot him, and they were rival gang members, and the police went to their house and got them. You gotta...
Oh, now, this is shit that 1090 was talking about. But then people was like, yo, pull out the full paperwork. Now, let's get to the old man that was letting off the shots, and they're allegedly saying that Larry Hoover allegedly put some statements out on the old man. Now, the old man right now about to speak. Now, y'all got to hear this. This is in subtitles also, so y'all can read the subtitles also, because the audio was kind of cracky and shit, because Wack actually, I guess they recorded him, him speaking and all that. But let's get to it. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Now, this is the old man that allegedly supposed to have let off shots. Larry Hoover supposed to allegedly put a statement out on him. They came and locked him up, this and that. He's saying none of that shit happened. It was some whole other, it was 2 females that identified the nigga and they came and locked him up. It wasn't Larry Hoover. But said that people were like, yo, why the article said that though? Smoke, why they say Hoover put a statement? That's what people's kind of confused at. People, like I said a couple minutes ago, the system like to trick. They like to play games sometimes. They put rivals against rivals and they let that shit heat up so niggas can knock each other off, allegedly. They do that type of shit. So allegedly, this is what the old man was saying too. If y'all want to go to the full conversation, go to Whack 100 on page whatever. He was on Clubhouse talking to the man. He got it over call with him. But the old man is basically trying to speak about that. Like, yo, they was playing a lot of games back then like that. But the people that actually snitched and it ratted me out was allegedly 2 females that did it. So let's get to the clip. You're going to hear from the old man. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Y'all know the vibes.
I was the shooter because it's not there. I did things for shooting and I did serve time in prison. But it wasn't at the behest of Larry Hoover. Larry Hoover never told me. Matter of fact, there was over 100 people in the hallway, so there wasn't no way anybody knew I did it. They didn't need Larry Hoover to tell them. First of all, but secondly, and more importantly, is that the whole narrative that the newspaper had and a lot of people is repeating it, a lot of folks never did happen like that. So long as he went with me, he was down the hallway. And nobody tell me to burn that man. 2 girls came and told me that they was coming down there to jump on me, but I couldn't never. But I had a pistol, so I waited. And that's what happened.
Okay. He said the other individual that was named in the newspaper article where they said he told James burn Larry Hoover, said that never happened. Dude was way down the hallway somewhere. He said 2 girls told him they called Larry and them to come jump on him. So instead of leaving, he had a pistol, so he waited on them to show up. And when they showed up, he got busy.
Nigga got busy. Now that's the old man right there talking about it. The 2 females like, yeah, I'm gonna go get Larry and them. She went and got Larry and them niggas. Niggas pulled up, niggas came through. Old man and somebody else started dumping at him. Like, nah, back up. We ain't having that. So according to the old man, Unc like, yo, the 2 females, the ones that identified me and my man, whatever. That's the true story. But according to the article, they switched it around and said Hoover made a statement and told them, yeah, Ray did this. Tyrone this. Edward did. They say they trying to make it seem like Hoover made a whole statement. Which y'all gotta understand, they play around like that in them articles. They'll twist the story. And back in them days in the 60s, these are upcoming little street gangs coming in the streets. The country, the cities, they wasn't feeling that shit. They wasn't liking that shit. So they're gonna try to break that shit at all means necessary. Even if they gotta play a little trick in a book on niggas. You gotta remember, these niggas is young back then, man. We talk about kids back then. Larry Hoover, them niggas was all young back then at them times when they was building that little family foundation, whatever you want to call it. They was building that up, and a lot of families was getting built at that time in the 60s. The Bloods, the Crips, the GDs, all that shit was getting built. Lion Kings and the Spanish side, the Mexicans, all that shit was getting built in the 60s. And these are all kids we talking about as far as street gangs, street families at that time. So the streets, the city, the police, the system, the country, they wasn't feeling none of that shit. They was gonna try to break that shit at all means necessary. Even if they got to play a trick in the book. And that's exactly what they did in that article. They try to get Larry out of here. They're like, we're going to put Larry's name in here. Them niggas going to come and get him. Black on black crime. Niggas knocking each other off. They sat back and they waited on that. That part, what we talking about. I sit back and wait, and that's exactly what the old man tried to explain. So the full audio, the full conversation, the old man actually explained that also. He was playing a lot of tricks, the police back then. Which they allegedly, let me think I speak on the alleged, which they obviously do to this day. But the question is, The 1090 Jake jumped off the porch too soon with this. Should he had took the video down and be like, yo, I mean, I got fought, but 1090 standing on this. 1090 Jake is standing on his 10 toes. He like, man, listen, man, I put it out. I put content. That's what it is. That's how 1090 Jake is coming. But see, my question to y'all, my question to everybody. Should 1090 Jake take the video down? Is them niggas gonna be on his neck now? Now he got these niggas up in Chicago. You got GDs all over the country. Is they gonna be on his neck now? 1090 Jake playing with fire, man. Till then, to be continued. We're gonna see what happened. I had to do a quick video though. Y'all already know the vibe. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Give me y'all smoke in that comment. Give me y'all theory about this. Do 1090 Jake need to fall back from the situation? Take that video down. What should he do? Y'all tell me. I'm up out of here, man. Y'all already know the vibe. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Share this video. It's your boy Smoke Loose TV, man. If they know, they know. Salute, gang. I'm out of here, man.